Hello everyone, welcome to Sober Gaming, where we believe video games is the only addiction you will ever need. Today I'm bringing you 45 tips and tricks for Cyberpunk 2077. Make sure to leave your tips and tricks in the comment section down below to make this video a goldmine for beginners. I will start with beginners tips and will work my way through the best pro tips, so stay tuned until the end of the video to get the best tips ever. When you start the game, you are able to choose your gender. Apache helicopter is not an option unfortunately, but know that the gender does make a difference in the story because it unlocks some of the romantic relationships that you otherwise wouldn't be able to get. So choose wisely, my friend. The background of your character does make a difference. Not a huge difference, but it does. It gives you different options when talking to people in Night City, and that might lead to some interesting turns of events. You might talk your way out of a tough situation depending on your character's background. This one is very obvious, but I have to mention it: do side gigs. Cyberpunk's main story is about 20 hours long, and I wasn't a big fan of it. But the juice of Cyberpunk is in the side gigs that can last a while. It took me about 55 hours to complete all the side gigs because one can lead to another. Some side gigs can have up to 5 missions in them, some even more. Remember that side missions will unlock different endings, will give you the best weapons in the game, best armor, and of course will provide you with loads of cash. Straight out of the gate, there is no third person, and don't try to find it. The only time you see your character from a third person perspective is when you are on a bike. Your character doesn't appear in any cutscenes except the ending, of course, so you can make your character look as ugly as possible and wear whatever gives you the most stats because you cannot flex your looks in this game. You will find many legendary and epic weapons in the game, but know that the best weapons are crafted ones, using those legendary and epic weapons that you find in the world. So make sure to keep all the iconic and legendary weapons that you find around the world to use them for crafting the best weapons in the game. Wait until the end of the video to understand how to craft weapons with the best stats. Don't forget to dismantle junk and food that you find in the world for scraps for future crafting. In case you do need some quick cash, remember that you can sell crafting materials for quick cash, or you can build weapons and sell those weapons for even more cash. While playing Cyberpunk 2077, you will find these access points. Hacking them will provide you cash. I suggest go to Quick Hack's skill tree and pick up Extender Network Interface that automatically highlights nearby access points. I suggest focusing on the last code only and then figure out the other two if you can. Sometimes you'll be able to get one, sometimes all three. Don't spend too much on figuring out how to get all three because there are literally hundreds of these access points in the world. Quick hacks are amazing for stealth missions and fighting when you have enough RAM and decent demons, so I suggest getting a good motherboard, epic or legendary, for quick hacks as early as possible because some demons require a lot of RAM. What I do first of all is I breach the network to make my quick hacks cost less RAM. This takes 5 seconds, costs you 0 RAM, and you can hack any of the 3 codes. Second, I use Ping Quick Hack so I know what I'm up against. It highlights all the enemies and cameras. This allows me to mark all of them even through walls. If I'm doing a stealth mission, I will turn off all the cameras and start to use a reboot optics to blind enemies to do stealth kills, or use system reset to make them unconscious. This is a very easy way to do stealth missions and you won't get caught, but you do need a lot of RAM. In case I want to go guns blazing approach, I usually use Cyber Psychosis, quick hack that makes one of the enemies go nuts on its allies and helps me kill them very quickly. Melee enemies are the best target for that quick hack because they tend to kill the most enemies without dying fast. If you decide to go the route of quick hacks, Know that RAM does regenerate over time, but very slowly, so I suggest dumping a few points in biosynergy so your RAM regenerate even in combat. Guns are bread and butter of a rich Cyberpunk player. I'd suggest picking all of the guns to sell them or use them if they are good. Minimap can help you with it because it shows all the drops and their color. However, remember to go around the area after the fight to see if there is any legendary weapon or blueprints hidden away in the chest, because that is what minimap doesn't show you. I found this to be the best legit way to farm money without crafting anything. There are 3 gun types: power weapons that are ricochet bullets, tech weapons that you can charge and can shoot through the walls, and smart weapons that lock to enemies and have auto-aim. From my experience, tech weapons are the strongest ones because they can shoot through the walls, and that is kind of OP. You can literally hide behind the cover and kill all enemies with a good tech sniper rifle by charging every shot. However, try all of the weapons because they're really fun. You'll see a lot of different cars in Cyberpunk 2077 for sale, however my suggestion is not to buy any cars until you have more money that you can spend. There will be some missions that will give you free cars and bikes. If you do want to get a bike early, just go to Jack's funeral and finish that storyline. Cyberpunk 2077 doesn't force you to do a lot of driving around the night city like GTA 5. NPCs will actually drive you most of the time on the missions instead of you playing taxi driver half of the game, which I absolutely love. However, if you do need to drive somewhere and you still don't have a car, don't worry. To steal a ride, just stand in front of the car and shoot it. This will make the NPC jump from the car and you will get this ride for yourself without any skill checks. Note, this is a temporary ride and you won't be able to save it or sell it. Some of you might know this, but a pocket full of cash helps in some dialogue options and gets the story moving forward. If you're low on cash, you can always buy some food from vending machines, scrap them, build some weapons and sell them for a good profit. This is a very basic infinite money exploit that exists in Cyberpunk 2077 right now, so if you're okay with exploits, use it before it gets patched. In Cyberpunk, you won't be able to level up everything. The max level in the game is 50, which means you have to prioritize 3 specific skill trees, so make sure to plan ahead. I suggest having the tech tree level up at least until level 18, so you will be able to craft legendary weapons because they are the best in the game. Also, it will help you to get pretty OP tech weapon perks along the way. A lot of players have missed this, but you can actually respec perk points. You won't be able to change attribute points you have spent to level up skill trees, but you can reallocate perk points in all of them. Just visit any Reaper dock and on the top of the page switch to Trade, which will show their inventory. You're looking for an item called Tabula e Rasa, I think. This item will reset all skill points when you purchase it. Note that this is pretty expensive and will cost you 100k. Another type of level that you want to level up is Street Cred level. You can level this up just by doing side missions and events. It will unlock new vendors, new side gigs, new items and much more. The maximum level is 50 and I got mine to the max when I was level 28 I think, and finished half of all the side gigs. Someone said this will make you popular in the night city and everyone will recognize you, but I haven't seen any difference at all. Regina Jones will give you Cyber Psychos missions from time to time, and most of the time she will ask you not to kill them. Just before the fight, go to your cyberware and equip a target analysis cyber mod in your ocular system that will make all of your weapons non-lethal. Just don't forget to change it back after the fight, because sometimes I would go through a few main missions without realizing I'm sparing all my enemies. Sooner or later you will meet other netrunners, enemies who can use quick hacks on you. And the most common one and the most annoying one is Overheating. This does a bit of damage, especially in the early game. Note that they don't need to see you directly to hack you. As long as they know where you are, they will be able to cause overheating. If you damage them, they stop hacking, so you have to get them quickly. To make it easier to deal with them, just get a perk I Spy in Quick Hacking skill tree that highlights hacking enemies for you, and then use your tech sniper rifle to kill them through all the walls and barriers. Something that is not explained in the game, that the more you use something, the better you'll get at it. If you go to a specific skill tree, for example tech, at the bottom left you'll be able to see skill progression level from 1 to 20. These are passive perks that you will get the more you utilize a specific skill tree. Sometimes you will get a free perk point, sometimes you will get a permanent passive buff. Something else to note is, in order to get the best perk in each skill tree, you will have to get your skill progression level to 20 in that specific skill tree. Note that your skill progression level won't go beyond your attribute point level. So engineering won't go past 15 if your tech skill tree is only level 15. So make sure level up your skill trees that you want to focus on before your attribute points hit the ceiling. One of the worst and most immersion breaking things in Night City are cops. You won't be able to go on a rampage in this city because cops just appear 2 meters away from you with a shotgun and they're fast, deadly, and not fun to play with. However, they're dumb as fuck. In case you did get a lot of stars somehow, just do a lap around the block and you'll lose them. How do you ask? I have no idea. You can also enter any shop to lose cops because that just makes sense. Another tip that I have for you is to use your phone extensively. Make sure to read and, most importantly, to reply to texts. These texts will unlock side gigs, make relationships better with other characters, and will help you to get to know the Cyberpunk universe in a new way. Most of you know that scanning enemies will reveal their weakness and slow down time. However, you also can mark enemies without having direct line of sight on them. Using pink quick hack highlights all the enemies and you will be able to tag them through multiple walls from a very big distance. This is an easy and cheesy tip, but you can quick save the game before side missions or important dialogue options. If you didn't know, F5 is a quick save button that I discovered in the middle of the playthrough. You're very welcome. Sometimes no cover is the best cover. Don't cover behind cars because if the enemies shoot the car enough times, it will explode and will instantly kill you in most cases. I forgot the dodge exists in the middle of the game, so remember, double tapping any directional button is actually very helpful. Dodging melee attacks is extremely easy and you can use these dodges against shotgun guys and they won't hit you even once. These dodges are extremely helpful while fighting melee cyber psychos and street fighters. If you still have difficulty beating Razor, just go to my channel where I explained how to beat him without any glitches or exploits. Remember that junk items and some food actually have weight, so if you're hoarding food or junk, make sure to scrap it from time to time not to get overweight. Most of the players miss it, but there's actually a stash in cars and bikes. Use it to keep your legendaries and epic weapons after finishing the side missions without driving back to your apartment to put it all in the stash every single time. All the guns are in the game are scaled to the player's level when you pick it up. Something to note in case you will try to go to a higher level zone at the beginning of the game to get OP gun. When you pick up an iconic gun, you will unlock blueprint that uses this weapon to build a more powerful one. You might want to wait till you're higher level to craft it since your level in game and your perk points will determine what stats you will get on that weapon. Every time you craft a weapon, most of the stats are randomized, so I suggest saving the game every time before you craft a new weapon to see if you can get better stats. I got close to 100 crit chance on my godlike pistol, for example. Similar tip for when you're trying to buy a gun from a vendor. If you see a legendary weapon and the stats are not the best, you can wait 24 hours to reset the weapon's stats in the vendor's inventory. Something that I and a lot of players have missed from the beginning of the game, you can actually craft ammo from crafting menu, and it is dirt cheap. It helped me a ton when I was switching Skippy gun from shooting everyone's legs to shooting everyone's heads, and I really needed a lot of ammo. For whatever reason, a reload animation is faster if you have one bullet left in the clip compared to when the magazine is empty fully. This is a very minor pro tip that might help you in a very clutch situations. Also, the animations, they look different. Another tip that most players don't know, but the higher the difficulty, the faster you will level up, because you do receive more XP the more difficult the game is. So in case you want to switch to easy to level up faster, it won't work. There is a cyber mod that makes your game 100 times more fun, and it is double jump. I suggest getting it as fast as possible because it makes the game way more fun, since driving sucks. This will help you to get to your next gig faster and will help you assassinate enemies with your mantis blades from above. Also, double jump can help you negate some fall damage. You won't be able to use it from very tall buildings because at some point it will stop working, but it helps negate fall damage from medium height. Lastly, double jump can be used for infinite stamina. When you fall from the double jump, your stamina regenerates. However, if you do want to jump from very tall buildings unharmed, what you need to do is just to do a slide right before you jump off and you won't die from fall damage. I would not suggest to use this glitch when you're on a mission and need to get away from the area because it might bug the quest. Also, this will be patched sooner or later, so enjoy this glitch while you can. There is a cyberware that literally gives you an instant revive. It will revive you when health goes to 0, and it is called the second heart. You can buy this item from this repair dock at this location for 45 grand. The fastest money glitch that you might want to use comes from one of the side gigs. In this area you will find a briefcase with a few dudes. After scaring them off, you can open a briefcase by grabbing a key from a dead guy just around the corner, and it will lead you to a crash landing where you can get a painting. You can sell this painting for 4,000, exit out of the menu, come back and buy this painting back for 5 credits. Rinse and repeat. If a machine where you sell stuff or vendor has run out of money, just wait 24 hours to reset their cash and keep on selling. This works with a painting, so you can get approximately 1 mil in 50 minutes if you just keep on selling it and buying it back. Going back to Cyber Psycho's gigs from Regina Jones, they are easy to defeat when they're melee. You can just climb something using double jump and shoot them from there. Most of them suck at climbing and they have a very weak ranged weapons. If you didn't know, but you don't need a tech weapon to shoot through some walls. Some walls are made of paper and you can easily shoot through, especially if you have a good sniper rifle like the one from Buck Arnold. By the way, if you haven't beaten him yet, I have a glitchless guide on how to beat him on my channel, so go and check it out. After beating him, you will unlock the best sniper rifle in the entire game. One very easy exploit to get good crafting components as well as some money is to kill people outside of your apartment until you get robocops after you, kill them, grab their loot, and then go to sleep in your apartment to lose cops. I told you, cops are super dumb in Cyberpunk 2077. Thank you everyone for watching. Please don't forget to put your tips and tricks in the comment section down below for other players, and consider subscribing for more Cyberpunk 2077 guides and cool videos. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.